Hello everyone, welcome to the 8th week of Scalable Data Mining course. Uh, so we have been discussing similarity search and locality sensitive hashing. Okay, we are going to continue with that this week. Okay, so we have just to recall, we have till now seen shingles. So we have seen how to similarity search in documents using the following things. So we have first defined something called shingles. Okay, then we have uh, uh, defined this Jacquard similarity with uh, with shingles, which we take as our similarity measure. Okay, and then we have set ourselves the task of finding a hash function or a locality sensitive hash function, which basically is able to efficiently search for similar documents, without going through a collection of documents. And for this reason, we have used uh, a hashing function called min hashing. Okay, and we have kind of shown that the probability of two documents hashing to the same bucket using min hashing is exactly equal to the Jacquard similarity between those two documents. Okay, and after this we have defined this locality sensitive hashing scheme. Okay, also called the we can also refer to it as the banding scheme. Okay, where we have multiple hash functions, and then we do ANDing and ORing of these functions, and that gives us uh, a, a scheme where so first of all, so we can design LSH scheme using by choosing the number of hash functions on each side so the number of hash functions per band and the number of bands. Okay, so if we choose this carefully and properly, okay, we are able to find a locality sensitive hashing scheme where given a similarity threshold, okay, we are able to uh, pick out documents which are greater than that particular similarity threshold with high probability, and uh, the documents which are lesser than the similarity, or pairs of documents which are lesser than the similarity threshold, have a very low probability of picking up. Okay, so this is what we have seen till now. Okay, uh, today we are going to see a generalization of this to many different metrics. Okay, okay, so we have seen this already, that so this was also originally the work of Moses Charikar. uh, okay, uh, okay, where he defined locality sensitive hashing scheme to be something like this, which is the definition we first used. Okay, where the probability of hash function of x is equal to hash function of y is equal to the similarity between x and y. Okay, now as you can understand, or as you can probably already see, this is a very strict requirement. Okay, so for doing similarity search, we probably don't need this strict a requirement. Okay, so what we need is something like this. Okay, so we need um, so um, so uh, so this was again sort of at the same around the same time a line of work which was sort of propagated by Indyk and Motwani. Okay, or this was sort of so they were the inventors of this line of work, where sort of they said that, you know what, we look at we are so they were also looking for a locality sensitive hash family, but what they were looking for is a hash function family H, such that, you know, your basically small h is a member of H, such that the probability of h of x is equal to h of y is high if uh, x is close to y. Okay, uh, you know, you can think of this in our parlance as similar. Okay, and probability of h of x is equal to h of y is low. Okay, if x is far away from y. Okay, or not similar to y. Okay, so here we are sort of introducing two things. Okay, one is that we are sort of so in addition to similarity measures, okay, we are also sort of analogously defining distance measures. The distance measures are very well studied. Okay, so these distance measures, they so as you know, there are many different distance measures which we use in various data mining and machine learning tasks all the time. Okay, okay, uh, and there is, so we are saying that there is kind of so we will move more towards distance measures than similarity measures, even though they are sort of related to each other. Okay, okay, so what are some of the for the time being we stick to the Charikar definition. Okay, and see, so basically the question that we are asking is, by making this relaxation, do we gain something? Okay, so you know, earlier we had this strict definition, okay, of LSH schemes. Okay, uh, and you know, that gave us a LSH scheme for Jacquard similarity. Okay, you know, you can define the Jacquard distance as 1 minus Jacquard similarity. Okay, um, but now that we are making this relaxation, okay, to this Indyk and Motwani scheme, okay, we will make this more precise in later slides. Does this really help in anything? Okay, uh, so let us see. Okay, so first of all, are there other similarity measures for which you know, we can have LSH scheme, or you know, basically LSH families. So H, you can think of H as a, not this H, uh, you know, this H, hash family H, okay, as a LSH, locality sensitive hash family, if you know, one of the so this property holds. Okay, so are there other similarity functions which admit an LSH family? Okay, and basically now think of the Hamming distance, for example. So Hamming distance is one distance where you have you know, if you have d-dimensional bit vectors or bit strings, okay, you can have Hamming distance is the count. So Hamming distance between two such strings x and y is the number of coordinates on which x and y don't match. Okay, so that is the measure of distance. Okay, so as you can see that this h is a number between you know, 0 and d. Okay, so h by d is a number between 0 and 1. Okay, and so this Hamming similarity, which is 1 minus h by d, is a similarity measure, okay, which is between again between 0 and 1, but this is a similarity measure. So basically higher the measure, the closer the vectors are, okay. 1 means all of the bits are same, okay. So the question is, can we have LSH family for this similarity metric SH, okay? And the answer is yes. uh, all you need to do is you need, so your hash family H, okay, so here there are two H, so let me call this maybe script H, okay. uh, okay, so your hash family script H, okay, is basically just this, that you randomly pick a coordinate, okay, or uh, more generally a set of coordinates in the bit vector, okay. So for example, you could pick so this is a 8-dimensional vector, or this is a 10-dimensional vector, okay. So your D for this example is 10, and you pick three positions, 1, 5 and 7, okay. Okay, so we pick positions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so these are the positions we pick. This, and this. And similarly, this 2, 3, 4, 5, this 6, 7. Okay, so now you have a bit vector representation for x, which is 1, 0, 0. Okay, and a bit vector representation for y, which is again 1, 0, 0. Okay, so 1, 0, 0 here, 1, 0, 0. Okay, so you randomly sample a position, and then your hash table, or your hash function is the bits in those positions, okay. And then this is your bucket, okay. So you can interpret this as maybe something like integer or something, and if they exactly match, then your bucket, your things are falling in the same bucket, otherwise not, okay. And basically what you can show is that uh, if uh, if you have uh, um, yeah, so if you have, so your probability of h of x is equal to h of y is basically your Jaccard similarity. So this is your Jaccard similarity, s h of x comma y whole to the power k, okay. So actually for k is equal to 1, you get the Charikar definition, okay. So there is at least for k is equal to 1, okay, you get the Charikar definition. So you have at least one distance function where or one similarity function where you can uh, get this LSH family which conforms to the Charikar definition, okay. One more such similarity measure is the cosine similarity, okay. Okay, so what is the cosine similarity? So suppose you have x and y's which are without loss of generality, let's say unit vectors. You can always normalize the vectors, okay. uh, and the distance between these vectors are the angle between them. So this, suppose this is x and this is y, okay, and this is the angle theta. So this is basically cos inverse x dot y, okay, and this angle theta is the distance between them. So the higher the theta is, the farther they are, okay. And basically you only take theta to be between let's say 0 and pi. Okay, after this it sort of reverses to the other direction, so you take the other angle. Okay, and then you can define the similarity between x and y to be 1 minus theta by pi. Again, this is between 0 and 1. Okay, and you can easily check that you can also get a, uh Charikar type LSH family for this. So how do you do that? So basically you choose a direction. So your hash family is something like this. Your hash family H is something like this, that you choose a hash function H from this hash family in this manner. You choose direction V uniformly at random. So any direction, any other direction V. Okay, uniformly at random. Okay, and then you just project uh, you know uh, mm, your the vector x onto this direction. Okay, and then you take the sign of that. So if the so as you know, the projection will be positive if it is in this space. So it is between 90° on either side of x, otherwise it will be negative. And that is your hash function. Okay, so this is going to be, for any vector, this is going to be +1 with probability half and -1 with probability half, because half of the random vectors here are going to be lying within this side of the space and half of them will be lying within this side of the space. Okay, now you construct this hash bucket, okay, which is, in this case there are just two buckets. Okay, um, +1 or -1, and basically your LSH scheme is, so the claim is that your probability that HV of x is equal to HV of y is equal to the Sx of y, okay, which we have defined here. Okay, and this is pretty easy to see. Okay, because so in order to see this, let me try and make, what you need to understand here is that so this is 1 minus theta by pi. Okay, okay, so basically 1 minus this should be theta by pi. Okay, now consider uh, you know uh, the sort of the line perpendicular to this and the line perpendicular to this. Okay, now you can see that these are precisely the vectors. So the vectors lying in these spaces. Okay, I'm just giving you a visual proof here. The vectors lying in these spaces are the ones where so if your V is here or your V is here, okay, then HV of x will not be equal to HV of y. Whereas if, let's say, you have a vector, uniformly chosen vector u, which is in this space, okay, your HU of x is going to be equal to HU of y. Okay, and now you see this, the probability, because you are choosing uniformly at random, the probability of choosing something here is just theta by pi. Okay, this is 2 pi and there are, this angle is theta. Okay, so this is theta by pi. Okay, and so and hence basically it follows. Okay. Okay, and sometimes people discuss what we say generate a direction uniformly at random. So the question is, how do we generate a direction uniformly at random? Okay, and the answer is basically you can generate one way of generating a direction which is uniformly at random is you generate uh, just univariate Gaussians, d univariate Gaussians, IID, with zero mean and standard deviation 1. Okay, and once you have got this vector, okay, you just normalize this vector. Okay, so any vector generated like this will be actually uniformly at random. So so one can show that this will really be uh, a uniform random direction on the unit sphere. Okay, so we are not going to going into the details of this proof. Okay. Um, okay, so we have seen at least three similarities. So one is Jacquard similarity, another one is Hamming similarity, okay, another one which is the similarity induced by your angle, angle similarity. Let's call it angle similarity. Okay, and all of these admit Charikar type LSH families. Okay, and so for this we know that we can have an LSH scheme if you have this kind of a LSH family. The question is now, are there some distances, okay, uh, for which if we take uh, the corresponding similarity, you may not always get a Charikar type similarity. Okay, so there is a simple result in this regard. Okay. So let us see what we are trying to say. So we are trying to say that uh, if a similarity is LSHable, that is, it admits an LSH family, okay, then 1 minus S must be a metric. Okay, so we don't know about other way around. So maybe not all metrics are LSHable, but if a similarity metric is LSHable, okay, then 1 minus S should be a metric. So what is a metric? Here is a definition. I'm sure you all know what is a metric. So a metric is a measure d between x and y such that dxy is 0 if x is equal to y. It is symmetric, and this is the triangle inequality, right? So dxy plus dyz is greater than or equal to dxz. Okay. Now, why is this true? Okay, why, if S is LSHable, why should 1 minus S be a metric? Okay, so suppose S is LSHable, so suppose H is a locality sensitive hash function for similarity metric S. Okay, and then we define this event. So this is a random uh, random variable actually. So this is a random variable. Okay, okay, uh, which basically it's an indicated random variable. So 0 1 random variable. So the two if two elements A and B, okay, they don't hash to the same hash bucket, then this event is 1, otherwise it is 0. Okay, so that is the event. Okay, so you can see that um, your we know that what do we want? We want uh, so our S is LSHable with locality sensitive hash function H. So we know that our probability of H of A equal to H of B should be equal to S of AB. Okay. So not equal to, okay, should just come here as 1 minus this. Okay, so this is what we are writing here. Probability of delta H, okay, this is the event delta H, is 1 minus S of this. Okay, this thing is also, you can sort of think of it as an, so you know, this is an indicator random variable. So this is basically, if you take expectation over H, okay, delta H A B, okay, this is equal to probability of, so these two are same because this is a 0 1 random variable. So you are basically counting in this expectation. Expectation is same as probability. Okay, you can just check this. This is a simple, this is a basic probability theory principle for 0 1 random variables. The expectation of probability equal to 1 is also this thing. Okay, now, okay, what do we have here? So we have this delta AB is this. Okay, now you know that so you can show that delta HAB for any H, okay, delta HAB, uh, so here note that, so we are trying to really show the last one because the first one and the second one, so we have to show that this distance, what is this distance? Distance is just, so you can see that distance between X and Y now, which is 1 minus this, okay, is really equal to this thing. Okay, so expectation of delta AB. Okay, okay, this is what is distance. Okay, and it is easy to show, you can see it yourself, that it is easy to show that if X is equal to Y, then distance is 0, and distance is also symmetric. Okay, the thing that we have to really show is that distance also obeys triangle inequality. Okay, now in order to show that, what we show is that this delta actually obeys triangle inequality, and then if we just take we can just take expectation on both sides and be done with it. Okay, so in order to show that delta obeys triangle inequality, note that what this is basic, what is this event is that A and B do not get hashed to the same bucket. Okay, this event is that A and C do not get hashed to the same bucket. So we have A and C which are not getting hashed to the same bucket. Okay, only then this will be 1, otherwise this will be 0. Okay, and then it holds. So if this is 0, it holds trivially because the minimum value of any of this is 0. Okay, now if this is 1, that means A and C get mapped to different buckets. Okay, now you can see that there is the B. Okay, so what are the options for B? Okay, so B can either get mapped to a third bucket, or it can get mapped to a same bucket as A, or it can get mapped to a same bucket as C. Okay, if it gets mapped to a third bucket, both of these are 1, so this is true. Okay, if it gets mapped to one of the two buckets, still one of them is 1. Okay, depending on which one it is mapped to, and so in all cases this holds. Okay, and hence we prove this. So what we have shown, just to summarize, we have shown that if LSH, if S is LSHable in the sense of, Charikar LSH, okay, then your 1 minus S has to be a metric. Okay, so yeah, okay, so you can only capture similarities derived from metrics using the Charikar similarity. Okay, now the question is, do all similarities derived from a metric become LSHable? And the answer is no. Okay, so so even before you know uh, all similarities derived from metrics, let us take these similarities which are not derived from any metric. Okay, so one similarity is this Sorensen dice. Okay, so what is the Sorensen dice? It is similar to Jacquard similarity, except that we are now taking sum of size of A and size of B. Instead of taking A union B, we are taking sum of size of A and size of B. And since we are taking a sum here, we are taking 2 in the numerator. Okay, um, so yeah, so and then you can see that you can just take a simple example and you can see that uh, uh, so for example, A is the element small a, B is the element small b, and C is a set which has elements A and B. Okay, and then SAB is 0, so DAB is 1. Okay, SBC and SAC are 2/3, so DBC and DAC are 1/3. Okay, and so you can see that uh, this is actually greater than sum of these two. Okay, which does not satisfy metric, and so this is not LSHable. Okay, so here is one similarity which is not LSHable because it is not a metric. Okay, so there are some similarities. There's another one is this overlap. You can check it yourself. There are some similarities which are not LSHable because they are not metric. Okay, now uh, uh, okay, we will come to this. So now, are there some similarities, okay, which are not LSHable, okay, uh, even though they are derived from a metric? Okay, and the answer is yes. So basically, one example is this L2 norm. Okay, so if your D of xy is your L2 distance basically between two elements x and y. Okay, and suppose you so this L2 distance does not have any upper bound. Suppose you come up with some kind of an upper bound. Okay, yeah, okay, and then you basically try to define similarity. Okay, as yeah, so similarity as between x and y as 1 minus some kind of normalized form of uh, mm, so let's say dxy by, you have to normalize it by the maximum distance or something. Okay, there is no known LSH in the Charikar sense for this particular similarity. Okay, so you cannot have a hash function H such that probability of H of x is equal to H, or it's not like you cannot have, we don't know of any, okay, such that this is equal to this. Okay. Um, so let us come to the Indic and Motwani definition. Okay, this is the more formal definition, and this definition is in terms of distance itself. So we have done away with the similarity metric, and we are now uh, defining locality sensitive hashing directly in terms of the distance metric. Okay, and so there is, there is no requirement that the similarity metric has to be between 0 and 1. So all those requirements are gone. So the distance metric also does not have to be between 0 and 1. Okay, so here you see we define this small r, capital R, P, Q, LSH family as, you know, uh, basically there are two radii. Okay, so the first one, the small r, is the smaller radii, and the capital R is the larger radii. Okay, and what the first condition is saying is that the probability, so if x and y are within a distance of small r, so let's say this is x. Okay, so suppose your y lies in this circle, in this inner circle. Okay, then the probability of h of x equal to h of y should be greater than small p. Okay, so this is one. The other condition is saying that if your y is somewhere here, so we don't know what happens when y is in this region. So this region is unknown region. Okay, but if your y is outside capital R, okay, then the probability that your h of x is equal to h of y is less than q. Okay, so here you can understand that it makes sense only if p is greater than q. Okay, so your p is like the probability, so there's a probability gap, so you can think of it something like this. So this diagram you will see a lot. So suppose this is distance. Okay, so as so so this here is p, this is the probability axis. Okay, so in this region, okay, it should be greater than p. Okay, and this is q. Okay, so this is small r. Okay, 0 to small r, it should be greater than here, so it should be in this region. In this region it should be less than q. Okay, we don't know what happens here. Okay, we don't know what happens, we don't care what happens here. So this is capital R, this is your capital R. Okay, so this is the distance, this is the probability, and this is the picture basically. So in this region it should be greater than p, in this region it should be less than q. And now, as you can understand, if p and q, so p should be as high for any such guarantee to make sense, and q should be low for such a guarantee to make sense. Okay, so this is the understanding. Okay, now so just a quick check here that whether or not, for example, your Jaccard similarity, okay, whether or not that can have a LSH, or rather, let's say you take the minwise min hash LSH itself. Okay, so does this, is this a generalization? So for example, does this satisfy that particular thing? Okay, so and now you see your Jaccard distance is basically 1 minus Jaccard similarity. Okay, so so your Jaccard distance less than r implies Jaccard similarity is greater than 1 minus r. Okay, which implies probability of collision is greater than 1 minus r. Okay, so basically your p is 1 minus small r. Okay, and your Jacquard distance is greater than capital R. Here, Jacquard distance happens to be between 0 and 1. So both small r and capital R should be between 0 and 1, and small r should be smaller than capital R. Okay. Then Jacquard similarity should be less than 1 minus capital R. Okay. And this gives us that Q should be 1 minus capital R. So in the Indic and Motwani parlance, your min hashing scheme, okay, has actually designed an R, capital R, 1 minus small r, 1 minus capital R LSH scheme. Okay. So if you have sort of like a Charikar type LSH, then you can always have a Indic and Motwani type LSH scheme like this. Okay. Okay. So okay. So the question here now is that how do we can we define as we mentioned already that the L2 norm does not have or at least we don't know of any Charikar type similarity for L2 norm. Okay. So the question is, can we have Indic and Motwani style similarity? Okay. And the answer is yes, we can have. Okay. And the way to have this is that we need, so our hash function, our hash family is defined like this. So you have W, which is a parameter, which is a real number, which is a parameter. It is the bucket size. Okay. You have two uniform things. One is U, which is again a random unit vector. Okay. And your B, which is a uniform random number between 0 and W. Okay. Now, your hash bucket is going to be U dot X plus B, okay, divided by W, and then the floor of that. Okay. So what does this do? Okay. So this picture sort of clarifies this. Okay. So so suppose this is your U direction. Okay. And this is your point, let's say X. Okay. Then what we are doing here is we are projecting X onto this direction U. Okay. And then we are adding a number B. Okay. A random number B. Okay. So we are adding a random number B here. So we are doing a shift of either +1 or -1. Okay. And then we are taking the floor. Okay. So basically, if it maps in this region, okay, we just take it as floor. And so just to be clear, let's say your origin is somewhere here. Okay. So this is your X vector. Okay. So this so it comes to this bucket. Okay. If it falls in this region, it comes to this bucket. If it falls in this region, it comes to this bucket, and so on and so forth. So for example, this Y, okay, if this is a Y vector, okay, it comes to this bucket. So assuming that your B is sort of a 0, or your B is B is not causing it to go here. Okay. Okay. So this is how you bucketize. So you first make it fall into this this bucket, or rather you you project it onto the direction u, and then you bucketize. Okay, so if you recall, the angle hash was something like you just did whether it is positive or negative, but now you are basically hashing it to the nearest integer. Okay, now why is this a LSH? Okay, so in order to do that, we have to prove that bounds on. So we have to find this small r, capital R, and we have to find P and Q. Okay, so suppose x minus y is less than w by 2. Okay, so this is less than, so x minus y is basically this vector. Okay, this vector is less than w by 2. Okay, the length of this vector, so the 2 norm of this vector is less than w by 2. Okay, then you can show that with probability greater than 1/3. Okay, we are not going to show this, so I will sort of leave this as an exercise. If there is a question, you can ask it later. We can discuss it later. Okay, with probability at least 1/3, okay, they are going to fall into the same hash bucket. Okay, uh, you can think that there are only so many angles, which will make them actually fall into a different hash bucket. Okay, okay, so this is your small r and this is your p. Okay, and similarly with probability at least 1/3. Okay, and similarly you can show that if x and y is greater than 4w apart, which is your capital R, then okay, they fall into the probability that they fall into the same hash bucket is less than 1/4. Okay, so this is what is Q. Okay, so you are able to find small r, capital R, and a PQ such that it satisfies the Indic and Motwani definition with this particular this particular set of parameters. Okay, now the question is okay, we will come back to this. Okay, now suppose, let us first look at the simple thing. Okay, and here uh, um, we are saying that this capital R is some constant times small r. Okay, which is fine. Okay, so this constant is something you can control. Okay, so now what so the question is that you have a certain collision probability. Okay, and you want this picture. Okay, so your collision probability should be greater than a certain number on this side and lower than a certain number. Okay, so if you have a more flat collision probability curve, how do you arrive at this curve? And this we have already seen in the context of Motwani, sorry, in the context of Charikar type LSH, you basically do a band construction. Okay, so within a band, or sometimes we like to call one band a hash table. So there are k hash functions. This, if you remember, was basically something like r in the previous notation. Okay, so you have k hash functions within the band, all of which should agree for x and y to be in the same hash buckets. Okay, so probability of you have this composite hash function capital H of x, okay, which takes a vector of all of these. So all coordinates should match. So probability of them falling into the same bucket is probability that all of them match, which is basically the probability that one of them match to the power k. Okay, and then you can have L such hash tables, or in our case L bands. Okay, and for each such hash table we should given a search query. Okay, query is like something whose nearest neighbors you want to find. Okay, you take all the you take the candidate wise, okay, from all the hash tables. Okay, so basically you map q to a hash bucket. Okay, so you compute hj of q. Okay, and then in this hash bucket you know which all y's are there from the data set. Okay, so you take union of all of those y's as candidates. Okay, so how can we give guarantees for this scheme? Okay, so in order to provide guarantees for this scheme, note that suppose you have a query point X and you have an R, CR, PQ, LSH family. Okay, uh, then uh, you can consider 2 points basically. Okay, so what is the so consider a point y which is less than which is within distance r of x. Okay, uh, the probability of y uh, y as candidate in the union of these hash tables, okay, uh, is 1 minus p to the power k whole to the power l. Okay, why is this? This is because uh, you are within a distance of r. Okay, so p to the power k is the probability that in each of these hash tables they will collide. 1 minus that is the probability that in none of the hash tables they will collide, and that to the power l is the probability that uh, 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 yeah, so 1 minus p is the probability that in each of the hash tables they will not collide, and 1 minus p to the power k whole to the power l is the probability that they will not collide in any of the hash tables, and 1 minus that is the probability that they will collide in at least one of the hash tables. Okay, and this is basically 1 minus 1 by e. We have seen this calculation. Okay, on the other hand, if x minus z is, so z is a point which is far away. Okay, consider a point which is far away. Okay, so it is greater than CR. Okay, what is the chance that z will come up as a candidate? Okay, uh, so the chance that z will come up as a candidate in any of the hash tables is less than, okay, q to the power k. Okay, because the chance that it will clash with x in one of the hash tables is q. Okay, is less than q, so this chance will be less than q to the power k. Okay, so the expected number of such guys, okay, will be less than, there are l hash tables, so will be less than L times q to the power k, okay, which is less than L because q is a probability. Okay, now you define this quantity rho. Okay, this quantity is kind of crucial to any LSH family, and this you can see is log of p by log of q, and you can see that rho is going to be less than 1. Okay. uh, okay, so this is the ratio. So we can discuss why rho is less than 1. Okay, so rho is less than 1 because um, okay, so log of p is actually a negative number. So you have that p is greater than q. Okay, this we know. Okay, so 1 by p is actually less than 1 by q. Okay, and so uh, minus log of p is less than minus log of q. Okay, and this minus log of p is actually a positive number because log of p is a negative number. Okay, so we have that log of p by log of q, okay, is actually less than 1. Okay, uh, okay, so we have that rho is less than 1. Okay, now we choose L equal to n to the power rho. Okay, where n is our dataset size. Okay, and we choose k to be log of n by log of 1 by q. Okay, so um, you can see that under this condition you get that you get expected number of false positives as n to the power rho. Okay, and you get the probability of y as uh, a true positive as greater than 1 minus 1 by e. Okay, so what do we have here to summarize? Okay, uh, okay, so here another thing is you have used L many buckets. Okay, so you have used L many hash tables, and each hash table has k many hash functions. Okay, and L is basically n to the power rho. Okay, uh, okay, so you have used space of n to the power 1 plus rho. Okay, uh, you have used n to the power rho many hash tables. Okay, n is the dataset size, mind you. Okay, and each hash table has basically n entries. Okay, so sort of n vectors you can think of it. Okay, so these needs to be matched. Okay, on the other hand, uh, your query time is basically something like your n to the power rho. Okay, because you have that many hash tables times k plus d. Okay, uh, uh, yeah, so this d is just dimension, and k, so these are far lower. These are not dependent on n. Basically these are something which are much lower than n. Okay, so k is something like log n. Okay, uh, okay, so mm, the idea here is that you can do uh, querying in sublinear time. So this row, remember, is less than 1. Okay, uh, so for certain hashes you can also show that your row is actually c, where c is something like 2. Okay, but in general what we have shown here is that you can do a sublinear query time, okay, by using superlinear space. Okay, so depending on the type of hash function or a hash family that you can get, you will get a different row. Remember, row is log of p by log of q, and p and q depend on the hash family. Okay, so you will get a different row. Okay, and for this different row, you get um, so depending on that, you can do a space time trade-off. So if your yeah, so you if your row is, let's say, less than half or something, you can do the search in square root n time with space which is n to the power 1.5. Okay, so this is the key idea behind locality sensitive hashing. Okay, in practice, what we do is that we search over. So remember, we have so typically we don't know the correct value of rho, and hence we cannot know what is a good value of k and l. Okay, so we just search over good values of k and l to find yeah, so to find an efficient hashing scheme. Okay, yeah, so this was kind of so you have to understand that this was kind of path breaking result at that point in time, because nobody thought that you could really do general searches, okay, over some general space in sublinear time. Okay, so this says that by doing some kind of pre-processing, okay, you can do searches in sublinear time. Okay, um, mm. so yeah, in practice, it is practical for medium to large data sets with fairly high number of dimensions. So dimension is not so much of concern. Okay, but yeah, so you can do yeah, you can do linear number of searches, or you can do searches in sublinear time. Okay. Mm, over very large data set. Okay. uh, and yeah, so this is very very useful in practice, and people come up with these lsh hash different lsh hash functions. We will see some more optimizations on this, but essentially people come up with many lsh hash functions, and so this is an active area of research, and these are the references, and thank you.